सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ओम शांति शांति शांति। ओम नमो ब्रह्मादिभ्यो ब्रह्म विद्या संप्रदाय कर्तृभ्यो वंश ऋषिभ्यो महद्भ्यो नमो गुरुभ्यः। ओम ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेद विभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ओम श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानामालयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादशङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्। ओम समस्त ब्रह्म विद्या आचार्येभ्यो नमः। ऋषिभ्यो नमः मुनिभ्यो नमः गुरुभ्यो नमः। श्री वेदव्यास सद्गुरवे नमः। वैशंपायन सद्गुरवे नमः। याज्ञवल्क्य सद्गुरवे नमः। आद्य शंकर सद्गुरवे नमः। अस्मद्गुरुभ्यो नमः। In our Parayanam, let us do the Vyahriti Upasanam. That is the 10th Anuvaka of Taittiriya Siksha Valli. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Up to this, we do Parayanam today. Om Bhurbhuvah Suvarithi Etastiśro Vyahritayah Tasamuhasmaitam Chaturthim Mahachamasya Pravedayate Mahaiti Tad Brahma Sa Atma Anganyanya Devataah Bhuriti va ayam lokah bhuva ityantariksam suvarityasau lokah maha ityadityah adityena vava sarve loka mahiyante bhuriti va agnihi bhuva iti vayoh suvarityadityah maha iti chandramaah Chandramasa vava sarvani jyotigamshi mahiyante bhuriti varuchaha bhuvaiti samani suvariti yajogamshi mahaiti brahma brahmana vava sarve veda mahiyante bhuriti vai pranaha bhuvaityapanah Suvaritivyanaha maha ityannam annena vava sarve pranamahiyante tava etaschatasraschaturtha chatasraschatasro vyahritayah tayo veda saveda brahma sarvesmai deva बलिमावहन्ते सय एषोऽन्तर्हृदय आकाशः तस्मिन्नयं पुरुषो मनोमयः अमृतो हिरण्मयः अन्तरेण तालुके य एषस्तन इवावलम्बते सेन्द्रयोनिः यत्रासौ केशान्तो विवर्तते व्यपोह्य शीर्षकपाले भूरित्यग्नौ प्रतितिष्ठति भुव इति वायौ सुवरित्यादित्ये मह इति ब्रह्मणि आप्नोति स्वराज्यम् आप्नोति मनसस्पतिं वाक्पतिश्चक्षुष्पतिः श्रोत्रपतिर्विज्ञानपतिः एतत्ततो भवति आकाशशरीरं ब्रह्म सत्यात्मप्राणारामं मन आनन्दं शान्तिसमृद्धममृतम् इति प्राचीनयोग्योपास्व पृथिव्यन्तरिक्षं द्यौर्दिशो वान्तरदिशाः अग्निर्वायुरादित्यश्चन्द्रमा नक्षत्राणि आप ओषधयो वनस्पतय आकाश आत्मा इत्यधिभूतम् अथाध्यात्मं प्राणो व्यानोपान उदानः समानः चक्षुश्रोत्रं मनोवाक्त्वक चर्ममागस्सग्गस्नावास्थिमज्जा एतदधिविधाय ऋषिरवोचत पाङ्क्तं वा इदगं सर्वं पाङ्क्तेनैव पाङ्क्तग्गः स्पृणोतीति ओमिति ब्रह्म ओमितीदगं सर्वं ओमित्येतदनुकृतिः स्म वा अप्योश्रावयेत्या श्रावयन्ति ओमिति सामानि गायन्ति ओगुं शोमिति शस्त्राणि शगंसन्ति ओमित्यध्वर्यो प्रतिगरं प्रतिगृणादे ओमिति ब्रह्मा प्रसौति ओमित्यग्निहोत्रमनुजानाति ओमिति ब्राह्मणः प्रवक्ष्यन्नाह ब्रह्मोपाप्नवानीति ब्रह्मैवोपाप्नोति ॐ शान्तिः 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 ॐ अथ श्रीकृष्णयजुर्वेदान्तर्गत तैत्तिरीय आरण्यकान्तर्गत तैत्तिरीय उपनिषद ॐ शिक्षावल्ली प्रथमोऽनुवाकः शान्तिमन्त्रः ॐ शन्नो मित्रः शं वरुणः शन्नो भवत्वर्यमा शन्न इन्द्रो बृहस्पतिः शन्नो विष्णुरुक्रमः नमो ब्रह्मणे नमस्ते वायो त्वमेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्मासि त्वामेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्म वदिष्यामि ऋतं वदिष्यामि सत्यं वदिष्यामि तन्मामवतु तद्वक्तारमवतु अवतु माम् अवतु वक्तारम् ॐ शान्तिः 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 ॐ यस्माज्जातं जगत् सर्वं यस्मिन्नेव प्रलीयते येनेदन्धार्यते चैव तस्मै ज्ञानात्मने नमः यैरिमे गुरुभिः पूर्वं पदवाक्यप्रमाणतः व्याख्याताः सर्ववेदान्ताः तान्नित्यं प्रणतोऽस्म्यहं तैत्तिरीयकसारस्य मयाचार्यप्रसादतः विस्पष्टार्थरुचीनां हि व्याख्येयं सम्प्रणीयते ॐ शिक्षां व्याख्यास्यामः वर्णस्वरः मात्राबलं सामसन्तानः इत्युक्तः शिक्षाध्यायः सहनौ यशः सहनौ ब्रह्मवर्चसम् अथातः संहिताया उपनिषदं व्याख्यास्यामः पञ्चस्वधिकरणेषु अधिलोकमधिज्योतिषमधिविद्यमधिप्रजमध्यात्मम् तामहासंहिता इत्याचक्षते अथाधिलोकं पृथिवीपूर्वरूपं द्यौरुत्तररूपम् आकाशस्सन्धिः वायुस्सन्धानम् इत्यधिलोकम् अथाधिज्योतिषम् अग्निः पूर्वरूपम् आदित्य उत्तररूपम् आपस्सन्धिः वैद्युतः सन्धानम् इत्यधिज्योतिषम् अथाधिविद्यम् आचार्यः पूर्वरूपम् अन्तेवास्युत्तररूपम् विद्यासन्धिः प्रवचनगं सन्धानम् इत्यधिविद्यम् अथाधिप्रजम् माता पूर्वरूपम् पितोत्तररूपं प्रजासन्धिः प्रजननगं सन्धानम् इत्यधिप्रजम् अद्धाध्यात्मम् अधराहनुः पूर्वरूपम् उत्तराहनुरुत्तररूपं वाक् सन्धिः जिह्वासन्धानम् इत्यध्यात्मम् इति मामः संहिताः य एवमेतामः संहिता व्याख्याता वेद सन्धीयते प्रजया पशुभिः ब्रह्मवर्चसेनान्नाद्येन सुवर्गेण लोकेन ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः. It is the grace of Rishis Munis, the Lord in different forms, that they are blessing us, that we are able to study the Shastras. The Shastras which we are studying are these Upanishads. Upanishads are those which are right from the beginning of creation, sustaining the Sanatana Dharma, sustaining the Vaidika Samskriti, Vaidika Vidya. And it is the one which is continuously, constantly inspiring the jivas to withdraw from the binding, extroverted worldliness to the liberating internal Adhyatma sadhana, the spiritual pursuit of the absolute truth. Such a most divine, sacred Shastra, we are given an opportunity to study. So let's generate that sort of gratitude for giving us this opportunity, as well as respect and reverence towards this Vidya. Second one is, it is always easy to look at, analyze, and understand the gross tangible objects of the outer world. You look at it and you come to know it, you try to get it is over. But when it comes to the Atma Vidya, the Adhyatma Vidya, which is so deep and deeply hidden under the cover of the illusion, delusion, or Maya, which is so powerful. And in its power, the Maya, when it projected this Panchakoshas, projected the world, the projection is so pakka, so wonderful, so beautiful that we just get enchanted in them. And slowly, steadily, to understand the limitations of all these, to understand the fallacies in all these, to understand the binding effect of all these, it takes lot of time and energy. Means what? It is not in one day's class that the mithyatva of the jagat, the bandhana karanatva of the upadhis, and bandhanatva of the jiva bhava, that it is understood in 1 or 2 days, in 1 or 2 classes, or in 1 or 2 studies of the books. It won't happen. Because again and again we are going back into this world of Mithya and Maya. Therefore, whatever little bit we studied about the illusory nature of the world and the reality nature of Paramatma, that is neutralized or compromised with our every involvement in this world. It is like so many Chinese goods have been created, produced, and percolated in all parts of our country that we are compelled as if to buy them. There was a period few years back. Luckily now we are retrieving it back. Everything, anything is made from them, from the electronics to everything. That we are compelled, even now also, though with that bitter enmity with them, so many products still are there that we need them and only they supply it. And we have to buy helplessly. How many things that we are there? In the same way, the percolation of the Maya, in which the Panchakoshas and the Panchamahabhuta Yukta Jagat is so much as if became necessary to us in involving and indulging, that we are finding it impossible to understand the not necessariness of them, and therefore the binding aspect of them, and therefore to come out of it. The jiva in us is going through that impossible struggle. Both, one side we have to find the mithyatva of the jagat and panchakoshas. Another side we have to find the self to be eternal, self to be the only one which is a giver of the bliss or mukti, whereas that self is non-tangible, non-understandable, non-recognizable, non, what do you say, perceivable by any of the faculties. It is the natural struggle of every jiva that he'll have to go through so many lives to get rid of the importance given to the world from the heart, and he replace it by the importance given to the Atma Tattva and Brahma Tattva. After that, the real sadhana starts, and the real sadhana, when it starts, the struggles thereof are of so many different types of the Kama, Krodha, these six enemies, the Raga, Dvesha, Adi, the Chanchalata of the Mana, and the projecting nature of the Mana. More important than all that is the grossness of the intellect, the Tamoguna of the intellect, the inability of the intellect to deeply think or contemplate. How many things are there struggles? That's why very few are the ones who pursue Brahma Vidya, that too through the study of Upanishads. And everyone finds the easier paths. The easier paths are of the bhoga of the Jagat, where you work, you earn artha, you spend the artha, you get the kama, and you indulge in them, and you are satisfied with them. To be able to transcend all that lifestyle and enter into this inner spiritual journey is so difficult. Only chosen few, chosen by the divinity and chosen by their own evolution, the jivas of many lives, that some of them they enter. And among those who enter also, consistency is there only for few. All others again and again falter, go back to the earlier life. Again, the whole life is spent in that. Next life, again, little bit they do, again to go back. Like, some of the people come for class for few days and then they go back to worldliness. Again, the next janma, they attend few classes. Again, little thing is added to them, but again go back to the world. Like that, those chosen people, after so many lives of struggles, that they find liking for Upanishad, interest for Upanishad, time for the Upanishad, desire to put efforts for the Upanishad, reaching to the Guru, attending the classes with the book in their hands, and trying to understand the deeper purport of every word and every shloka, where in some of the cases there are some things to be done, in some of the cases some things to do the upasana, in many cases it is the intellectual inquiry about the truth. This is all Shravanam. Thereafter comes the Mananam. Thereafter comes Nididhyasana. What we are trying to see today are the 2 points. One, the most sacred activity of the entire Sanatana Dharma, called as study of the Upanishads we are doing. So be respectful to yourself for that great opportunity given. Second thought we were discussing is, definitely it is not as easy as working in the world and getting the artha kama of the world. Definitely the Brahma Vidya seeks so much of effort for so many lives to get into the groove of it. Little by little, stokam, little by little only, one can in every life's evolution achieve it. The chanting of the mantras, the literal meaning of every word, the indicated meaning. Therefore, getting convinced about the Brahma Tattva, then when it comes to practicality, rising above the Rajoguna, Tamoguna, getting withdrawn from all the extrovertedness, purifying our antakarna from all the vasanas. ये देखो इतना करना होता है. Each one is not as easy as it is said in one or two sentences. It is the lower mind's pull, the habitual pulling of the senses and the deha. And how much ever you do, the prakriti with which the whole personality is made, it has its own powerful power to pull us down to the prakriti level only. क्या क्या झेलना पड़ता है, क्या क्या लड़ना पड़ता है. After conquering all this only, then we enter into the next step of struggling on the seat of meditation. वहां फिर मन कहाँ टिकता है, शुद्धता किधर है मन में. वेयर इज द चांस, इजी चांस टू go beyond all the gross subtle. Gross you may keep away for some time with your commitment for meditation, but how can the subtle of the thoughts of the mind, the gurgling thoughts of all sorts, is it easy to transcend them? No. So, why we are saying all that is, yes, we have chosen the greatest of the path, no doubt. Never leave it. At the same time, don't expect that overnight everything will happen. And without effort, it will happen. Don't imagine. We have to put efforts continuously, like we are doing from last 2 years. It's a beginning. It should be an endless beginning, and the end should be only in a discovering aham satyam jnana param brahma asmi. तब तक रुकना नहीं. Extra efforts only we put, extra sacrifices only we do to the optimum level which the jiva in us is capable of. Never looking back, never going back, never giving up, never getting stagnant and stinking. If that commitment is strengthened in us, how many our struggles it may be, we will be able to pursue. Struggles won't stop, obstacles won't stop, difficulties won't stop. Like when you have to climb a mountain, it will be struggle every moment. It is an obstruction every moment. It is difficult. But the one who wants to have the darshan of the Lord up above, he will go through all of that but will not stop his journey. That non stopping of his journey, in spite of all the difficulties, is the one which is taking him step by step closer to his chosen goal in our lives also. I may not understand Upanishad today, yet I'll pursue. I may not be convinced about Brahma Tattva today, yet I'll try to. I am not convinced about being free from the world and its indulgences, yet I try. I am not right now convinced about my own self and Guru and Shastra, yet I keep on giving chance, keep on putting effort, keep on giving, doing those trials. This is what, if we commit, then we are helping ourselves. And as we have come up to the level of being consistent in the class, slowly when it is more deeper, more effortful, we also will get convinced about this alone is the path. Then only slowly the time energy given for the other things will be transferred for this, will be directed towards this. Then I give time, when I put effort, nothing is impossible. Nothing is difficult. Slowly, the impossibilities, difficulties go away. Then it starts becoming easier and possible. And in and through that, the monitoring mind and its gunas, monitoring our company around, monitoring our association with our guru and shastra, उसको हमेशा देखना पड़ता है. Just like when you are maintaining a shop or supermarket, it's not only that you order the stock, it comes and you sell. As long as the stock is there for sales, every moment you have to monitor the stock, whether any rats are coming or any expiry date is happening. It's a continuous monitoring. Every 1 hour, you have to go and see when the customers came and took the item, they might have disturbed that sequence, then you have to put it back. Is it not? In the same way in spirituality also, the food which we take, the exercise whether we do or not, the things which we are observing in the world, and their influence in our own antakarna in the form of increasing desires or increasing tamas and increasing rajoguna, we have to be careful about it and start eliminating them all the time. एक तरफ सत्संग सुनते हुए, दूसरी तरफ अपने साधना जो भी समझ गए करते हुए भी, तीसरी तरफ अपने व्यक्तित्व को, हम जो जगत में है उस जगत का हमारे पर इन्फ्लुएंस को, एवरी टाइम वी हैव टू बिकम अवेयर एंड वी हैव टू सी टू इट दैट our behavior in the world's entry into us is conducive only for our sadhana, not opposing. This is where many of us do mistake. This care when we don't take, we do sincere sadhana, no doubt, of coming to class and study, but this place we have not taken care. Therefore, for granted we take and enter into the world, and for granted we take and allow the world to enter us, by which we get disturbed. The strictness, if it is not, Like the sickness, what I'll not go to anybody, I will not invite anybody unless it's too important a duty and urgent. If the strictness is not there, then all our energies cannot be used only for sadhana. And whatever sadhana is that we can't maintain consistency. If we compromise with that strictness, कि चलो आ गया कोई बंदा, out of obligation we attend, और चलो मन में thought आया, therefore let me go, then what we are doing is neutralizing our sadhana, allowing that, because every interaction which we do creates some impressions. Those impressions again will disturb our peace and poise of mind which we are generating for meditation. In this way, being careful. We are not telling become cynical or become so much rigid and arrogant. Nah. The idea we have to catch it, that we have to be consciously careful and carefully conscious, so that nothing new is added to disturb our sadhana. Not that we are hating the world, nor that we are escaping from our responsibilities, nor we are a careless burden to the world. No, no, no. वो सब करते हुए भी कॉन्शियस रहना, कोई कोई वस्तु व्यक्ति विशेष या कोई अनुभव विशेष के लिए हम दौड़ नहीं रहे या अपने आप आ रहा है, तो वी आर नॉट अननेसेसरली वैल्यूइंग इट. That care if we take, blocking the mind senses from going outside, blocking the outer emotions and perceptions to enter inside and disturb the poise of the mind which we are creating through japa, through the upasana, through the various mantrocharanas, through praying to the Guru and God, through the disciplines of maintaining our exercises or maintaining our food habits. इतना करके हम जो तैयारी कर रहे हैं, that cannot be, should not be spoiled. That care is more important. And it should go on, it should become a habit. And a decision should come that I have chosen this path. In this path, this is how the life has to be, and I am committed for that, come what may. Then when you look at others or when we see the people involved other things, Turant decide karna, it is their way, it's my way. And I've seen that already. That is the path of bondage, the path of liberation. Yes, it is very difficult, that is very easy. It is very attractive, it gives temporary or immediate pleasures. It is so tough, difficult, and yet I am committed for this. This is how the strength in ourselves we have to go on adding. You can observe all these qualities, any of the great seekers who have achieved maximum in few lives. Imagine Puja Gurudev, how he was once he went to Shivanji Maharaj. Those 7-8 years of that Mahatma or any such Mahatmas, all these things they have done. Gurudev has moved all over the country much before he went to Uttarakhand. But he once went there, he did not and got tempted to come back to the city and city culture of indulgence, etc. If he had given value to that, he would have not stayed back there to learn the Brahma Vidya. He also has mind, his mind also has memories. In those memories, all this hoo-ha of the entire earlier life was there in his mind. But he was so committed that I have taken up this pursuit of learning from him, and he had given up all that. So that is what should be the prerana to us. Is it not? Everybody has mind. Everybody's mind is of same sort, of rajasic and tamasic. And whoever want to excel, they have to make the mind sattvic. The making of mind sattvic is twofold. One, whatever makes the mind sattvic, positive things you keep on doing. Second, whatever makes the mind rajasic and tamasic, those things we have to keep on eliminating. The situations around help us. We have to create such conducive situations. More than that, our own inner commitments make us. Every moment of our life should be, next moment I have to do the sadhana. For that, how I have to prepare this moment. In that way it should be. Like the housemaking lady, kal subah idli dosha banana, so she will soak the rice etc. at night. Then दोपहर में this सब्जी बनानी है, then she cuts all the vegetable, keeps ready for the lunch. रात को चपाती वो बनानी है, so गूंद के रखती है. All the time she is keeping things ready for the next. In the same way, a spiritual seeker always should keep his mind prepared for the next attempt of study, next attempt of meditation. Our only two jobs are, one, Study or meditation. Second, preparing to study or meditation. There's no third job. In that way, when we are committed, then slowly the devatas, not the sukha bhoga fulfilling devatas, but those devatas whose job is to inspire and empower the adhyatmika seekers, they enter into our life. Those yogis, those gurus, those brahmagnanis, they slowly start entering into our life, and they will are the ones empower us, give us blessings, give us the support of the hand, and slowly they take us towards that ultimate. What is the meaning of taking there towards the ultimate? The desire for Upanishads, the ability to understand the depth of the Upanishad mantras, feeling for those meanings. Most important is this. When you understand a mantra Upanishad, it should give us that feeling that such a wonderful understanding is there in the Upanishad regarding the promise or regarding the tattva. Therefore, let me pursue it. That type of feeling generation. मेरे उपनिषद के ज्ञान का मुझे अनुभव करना है ऐसा वाला feeling. So those rishis munis inculcate that. When that comes, then always we are looking around as to how to find the time and place for my dhyanam. Once that comes, that let me sit and analyze and reset everything in my understanding on the seat of meditation contemplation, then slowly when everything is adjusted, let me enter into deeper meditations of what exactly the truth according to the Upanishad mantra. This is how every sadhaka who is worth called as sadhaka and to become worthy to evolve, they have to conduct themselves. Yeah. So those who are that way fully prepared, for them, a fully prepared person, the teaching by the guru in the Gurukula at Lezerig is a cakewalk. He just goes. But for others, they have to, it's like a rope walk. Or you have to climb the mountain. So for us, this one, because in the world of indulgence, we are with the same upadhis, with so much of relativity and attachment around. So for us, every step is struggle only. One day we can't be without food. Then every day eaten food makes us such a tamasic. So this is how we live. You can't avoid one item. Then you will never avoid your being lazy. Is it not? We can't avoid our TV. Then we can never avoid being lazy again, distracted. तो इस तरह से हमारी ज़िंदगी गुजर रही है. We can't avoid giving importance to people. And all these interactions will disturb our mind. That's why putreshana, vitteshana, lokeshanebhya uttaya bhaikshacharyam charanti. That's how it is. Anyway, little by little every day, थोड़ा हम ऐड करते हुए हमारे मेच्योरिटी को, then we are entering into our study of Upanishads. Now, so far in the Upanishad, Shanno Mitra, the prayers to all the Adhisthana Devatas of Antakarana and Bahyakarana we have done. Then special prayers to the Vayu for helping us in this Rutam and Satyam. Then in the introductory Bhashyam, we have exhaustively seen why Brahma Vidya, Atma Vidya alone is the giver of Mukti. Therefore, only Brahma Vidya, Atma Vidya we have to pursue, and only for them to make this Brahma Vidya, Atma Vidya pursuit easier, along with the Vyakhyanam, the Upanishads are given, along with the Bhashya. That's what the introduction. Then we entered into Siksha Adhyayam. We saw in detail all that. Then in the third portion, first portion was invocation, second was Siksha Adhyayam. In the invocation only, the importance of Brahma Vidya comes. Second is Siksha Adhyayam. In the third one, we are giving Samhita Upanishatu. Sandhi Upasana. Means what? The power of Paramatma, be attentive. Appearing as the presiding deities in this world, and just like the bhasha mein, the letters are coming together through some sandhi or samasa rule and bringing out some meaningful words or sentences. Same Paramatma through the presiding deities as well as in the form of the grosser things coming together to continue the manifested world and its existence. The observance of that is called as meditation, Upanishad. And that meditation here is based on the things outside, therefore it's called Upasana. So Samhita Upanishad is called Samhita Upasana. And the word Samhita itself is Samyak Hita. it gives you the hita, it qualifies you to slowly later on contemplate on the one who is beyond, behind. And we exhaustively said yesterday before, when this Samhita Upanishad is done, wherein we are doing the upasana of observing the great phenomena that is happening in the world around and also within ourselves. One side, we get detached from the jiva bhava and too much of indulgence in the world. Second is, we develop respect and reverence for the one who is allowing these great phenomena to happen. With that respect and reverence toward the one, then our jignasa to know him grows. When the jignasa for him grows in us, then we become fit for Brahma Vidya. And to that person, Brahma Vidapnoti Param Tadeshabhyukta Satyam Jnanamanantam Brahma. These shlokas which indicate about the Brahma Tattva will become useful or valid. And we said these five are the samples, and in that way, throughout the day, we have to be always in Samhita Upanishad, where in the presence of Paramatma, his own Maya Shakti expressed phenomenon in the world coming together and creating a beautiful thing. So, observation of what's happening makes the power of observation more. Then, observation of what's happening gives that respect in our heart towards the one in whose presence all these are happening. And only when you remain as an observer, then we will be getting rid of all our earlier thoughts of valuing the world or valuing the things of the world for the bhoga. That leads to the prashanta mana. So the upasana of the nature leading to the manas prashanti and leading to the jignasa about the one who is beyond. Okay? So in this, what the technique adopted? Purva Rupam, Uttara Rupam, Sandhi, Sandhanam. Keep those things in mind. In that, importance of all the four are given. And what we have to understand, beyond all these four is that fifth principle called Paramatma, who alone is expressing us these four things. Pura Rupam is earlier Varna. Uttara Rupa is the later Varna. Then Sandhi is the coming together of them, the place where they come together. Sandhanam is the technique or the rule by which they come together. So we have seen already Adhiloka Samhita Upanishad or Upasana. Then Adhijyautisha Samhita Upanishad or Upasana. Then we have already completed yesterday Adhividya Samhita Upanishad or Upasana. Where what is the Purva Rupa Varna? Acharya Purva Rupam. And what is the Uttara Rupa Varna? Antevasyuttara Rupam. And what is the place they come together? Vidya Sandhi. And what is the technique by which they come together? Pravachanam Sandhanam iti adhividyam. And then in this way, in the combination of these four, right from the creation till the dissolution happens, continuous, what is saying, communication of both Brahma Vidya as well as Laukika Vidya is going on happening. Without which, people will remain ignorant in whatever the fields, whether worldly or spiritual. With the ignorance, it's only chaos or confusions, nothing can be achieved. Then who is the one who has put this system? He is that Parabrahma, Paramatma. To recognize him is our goal. So what is happening here? At one level of creation, in the Brahma, we have imposed all this. Now the other level of sadhana, in the thing which we are seeing, we are imposing Parabrahma. So what is Upasana here? In this world, in this way, the communication of Jnanam is happening. This is what a phenomena it's observed. But in whose guidance it is happening, whose pursuit or whose pushing, it is Parabrahma. So seeing the world, recognizing Parabrahma is Upasana. Thereafter, who is that Parabrahma is Jignasa. After knowing that Parabrahma alone means me alone, then trying to experience him in our own heart is called Nididhyasana. In that Nididhyasana, when it becomes complete, the Anubhava comes that I am that. So the Samhita Upanishad is that practice by which Upanishad Vedya Brahma Tattva's presence is discovered in all the phenomena that is happening in the outer world and inner world. Outer world, two examples are given. Adilokam, Adijyotisham. Then the inner world, three are given. Adividyam, Adiprajam and Adhyatma. So what we see is this is what is happening. Having seen what's happening, what we see beyond, which is not seen to the ordinary, is the presence of something which is making all this happen. Like behind the Prithvi, this Prithvi Devata is there, which is Purva Rupam. Behind the Diloka, the Diloka Devata is there, which is Uttara Rupam. Behind this Akasha, which is a Sandhi, this Akasha Adhisthana is there, Adhisthana Devata. And behind the Sandhanam, the Vayu, the Vayu Devata is there. And all those Adhisthana Devatas have their roots in Parabrahma, the conscious Parabrahma. And because of the combination of these four, the presence of the earth is there for all of us Jiva to stay there. What is the outcome of this Prithvi Purva Rupam, Devrutta Rupam, Akash Sandhi, Vayu Sandhanam? We the Jivas are getting the place to stay, the dehas to stay, the oxygen to get, the food to get. ये हो रहा है यहाँ, इसको देखना है. It's called Samhita Upasana. So too the Devrutta Rupam, the second one. Agni-purva Rupam, Aditya Uttara Rupam, Apasandhi, Vaidyutah Sandhanam. The combination of that is giving the life to us. Third one is giving the purpose of life. That's called Vidya, and that is Adhyatmika. It's the inner Samhita Upanishad practice, where we are understanding the importance of each one of them and seeing Parabrahma only in each one of them and making full use of that thing for recognizing Parabrahma later on. So, Acharyaha, Antevasi, then Vidya, Pravachanam. Each one is so crucial. Remember, if the acharyas are not at all there in the world, then the people will, everybody will have to again struggle for themselves to discover the thing. Ultimately, everyone will have to discover themselves only. But the entire guidance is given by the Purva discovered person called as Acharya. Like everybody will have to discover and apply the mathematical principle for the mathematical solution of problem. But what is the use of the Acharya there? Acharya makes it so easy for that fellow by teaching, which he has learned from his gurus, which he has experimented. So it becomes easier for the disciple to learn the principles or formula and apply. Remember, if the Acharya is not there, a painting Acharya is not there, a Nritya Acharya, Gatra Acharya, if he's not there, Bhautika Shastra, Rasayana Shastra Acharyas, gurus are not there. कितना मुश्किल होता है. इज देयर एनी फील्ड इन द वर्ल्ड वेयर देयर इज नो आचार्य? चोरों का भी आचार्य होता है, टेररिस्ट आचार्य. यू कैन हैव चोर आचार्य, घोटाला आचार्य, देयर ऑल देयर. एवरीवेयर इट इज. तो आचार्य पूर्व रूपम मीन्स व्हाट? The Purva Akshara is Acharya, that is in the Sandhi, but consider in the Acharya the Purva Rupata, the importance of him. And who is Acharya? Achanoti Shastrartham Acharena Sthapayati cha. And to get an Acharya in your life who knows Brahma Vidya, who is doing his sadhana or God Siddhi, or who is willing to teach us, is an impossible task. And that's why to this world, our contribution, the best way is also by being a Brahma Vidya Acharya. And that's also after discovering Brahma Vidya for ourselves. Is it not? And the second one is equally important. Ki Antevasi Uttara Rupam. What will the Acharya do if the Antevasi is not there? Therefore, in this world, the second greatest contribution of ours is what? To become an Antevasi first. A true strict disciple of today alone will be, after maturity, a true and strict and wonderful Acharya tomorrow. If nobody is ready to learn in this world, then the Acharya cannot communicate and the people are not learning, therefore they will behave very erratically, in a very confused manner. Is it not? Therefore, Antevasi. The importance of and Antevasi is disciplines, his behavior for his own quicker and easier evolution. They are exhaustively explained in our Upanishad Shastras. Hmm. Tadvijnanaat artham sa gurumeva vigachet samitpanihi shrotriyam brahmanishtam. Upanishads told the Guru Upasadana Paddhati. Tadvidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshanti te jnanam jnaninah tattvadarshinaha. So all the lakshanas. विवेकिनो विरक्तश्च समाधेः गुणशालिनः मुमुक्षोरेव हि ब्रह्म जिज्ञासा योग्यता मता. They are the lakshanas. अधिकारिणमाशास्ते फलसिद्धिर्विशेषतः उपाया देशकालाद्या सन्त्यस्मिन् सहकारिणः. The Guru Lakshanas are told Shrotriyo Avrijno Akamhatah Brahmanya Uparatah Shantah Nirindini Vanalah Ahetuko Daya Sindhu Bandhu Anamatam Satam. And Shishya Medhavi Purusho Vidwan Uha Poha Vichakshanaha Adhikari Atmavidyaya Mukta Lakshana Lakshitaha. All our Shastras have told the Antyavasis Lakshanas and also the Acharya Lakshanas. I have quoted from Vivek Chudamani and Upanishads. That thing is put in the world by the Paramatma. Paramatma has not only made the world of objects of attraction to bind the jivas. It's only half of his creation. In the remaining half of it, he has created all those things by which one can transcend this bandhanam, enter into mukti. He has put the acharyas, right from the beginning of creation, acharyas are there with the lakshanas. So too the antyavasis are there with these lakshanas. And always Bhagavan is available in the form of the Vidya. The Aparavidya, the Laukika, and the Paravidya. Therefore, the third contribution, the best of ours in the world is by being an Antevasi from the Acharya, when we gain or obtain the Vidya. And later on also, when we become the propounders of Vidya, then anything, we are the most great contributors to the world. The contribution done by the great master like Puja Guru Adi Shankara, superficially they are not seen as an objects, but they are so great that because of their contribution only, there are people who are, instead of becoming samsari, bandhana, dushtas, they are becoming vidyarthis. And then the one who become a vidyarthi, that is Brahma Vidyarthi, and get the Brahma Vidya is getting liberated. Among 700 crores, it may be only 70 people who are choosing Brahma Vidya and reaching to Brahma Vidya. But they are the gems. Baki sab to just jivas in the world of samsara. So this great Guru's contribution is what? The Vidya also. Therefore, in our life also, ourselves becoming Antevasi and going to the Guru Acharya and gaining from him the Vidya. So too, when we become full in our Vidya, we also have to contribute to the world in terms of spreading the Vidya. If you and I get a chance to start something, our only purpose is the Upanishad, Bhagavad Gita, Ukta, Brahma Vidya Prachara only. Whether do bande aaye, panch aaye, das aaye, this most divine, sacred, eternally required activity only we will do. No any other things. How much our attractive may be, and we are capable of doing. Using Gita, Upanishad, Vishnu Sahasranam ityadi for the management and success in the outer world. That we will not take up. There are so many people they do that. हमको तो विद्या, ब्रह्म विद्या, मुक्ति के लिए सीखना है, सिखाना है. And there are few people who are committed like this. And because of them only, the Shastra Jnana, Tattva Jnana, Brahma Jnana for the Mukti is continuously is available. Through all the different stone ages and all ages, if this Brahma Vidya is sustained, is because of few such committed people कि हम ब्रह्म विद्या का ही बहुत करेंगे कराएंगे, दूसरे चाहे जितने भी अट्रैक्टिव हो हम उसमें नहीं जाएंगे. This type of commitment also is a greatest commitment. Then what is that which transfers the vidya from the acharya to the antevasi? That is called the sandhanam. Without that sandhanam, बैठ गए like सारे सब्जियां काट के रखा, ठीक है, पानी सब मसाले सब तैयार है, बट संधानम if the stove is not there on which you put a patila and all these things, they don't mix together to come out as a tasty recipe, is it not? In the same way, ये किताब है ब्रह्म विद्या का, अंतेवासी उधर बैठा है एंड आचार्य इधर बैठे हैं, there is no अनुसंधानम, then what, how can that vidya from the books enter from the guru's mind into the disciple mind? Only when the anusandhanam is done. The sandhanam is pravachanam. Is it not? Vidya sandhihi pravachanagam sandhanam. Therefore, there should be no day for the acharya without giving pravachan on the vidya of Brahma Vidya Upanishad. Disciple also must every day listen to the pravachana. Then only the vidya from the guru to him it comes. There cannot be a day for a seeker of truth without studying the shastra from the guru and his own independent study and contemplation. You cannot compromise with this at all. Swadhyaya pravachanabhyam na pramaditavyam. Pravachana is for the guru, swadhyaya for the disciple. Never ever be compromised with any pramada. So, what we have done last 20 minutes is the Samhita Upanishad of the third of the thing called as Adhividya, where we are recognizing Paramatma, we are recognizing His greatness and power, we are recognizing His greatness, power, and compassion through His giving to this world the setup of these four things. This is what the Upasana we are doing. And the next level of Upasana we were doing was trying to understand the importance of all these four. This is called Upasana. The next level of Upasana is ourselves becoming the Vidyarthi or Antevasi. Then ourselves going to Guru, accepting the Guru's Acharya, and ourselves seeking him, Hey Guru Brahma Vidya Do. Then when he gives the Brahma Vidya, Upanishad Vidya, when we receive it. All this is Upasana. After receiving Brahma Vidya, then pursuing only that is called Adhyatmic Sadhana for absolute realization. But here, Samhitaya Upanisham Vyakyasyamaha, when the Guru said Adilokam Adijyotsam Adividyam Adipadam Adhyatmam, in that, what is the meaning of Mahasamhitaya Upanishadam? This is the glory and greatness of these things we have to recognize. That's what is the subject we are studying. Recognizing the presence of these things, recognizing the importance of these things and making use of it, and recognizing the presence of the Lord, who is the giver of, maintainer of all these, by being very subtle and seen. Later on, Jignasa for that unseen God, when it grows, when we become Adhikari for the Brahma Vidya through Upanishads. Before that, Samhita Upanishad means, Samhita Upasana means, हमारा भली भांति हित करने वाला इन पांच चीजों के द्वारा उपासना करना. उपासना is recognizing the presence and acknowledging its greatness. So we recognize the presence of Acharya, presence of the Antevasi, presence of the Anusandhanam called as Pravachanam, Sandhi called as the Vidya. And we are recognizing the glory of their combination, that continuously the Vidya Prachar is happening generation by generation, because of which the world is sustaining in a good mood of activity, achievement and happiness. विद्या को सीख कर उसका उपयोग करके जो चाहिए उसको पाकर सुख शांति से हम है. Recognizing that's called as Samhita Upanishad. At the same time, when we have life mein Acharya, have that respect, reverence towards him and be a true Antevasi. And the Antevasi Acharya's only purpose of coming together is Vidya Prachara. And it cannot be done other than with Pravachana, therefore Pravachana. तो प्रवचन में आत्मविद्या का प्रचार करने के लिए ही गुरु शिष्य मिलना है. Beyond that, Guru is in meditation, disciple is in contemplation. Then they come together only for Vidya. After this, Guru is in meditation, he is not indulging anything else. Or he may go to other class to teach other students. So to the disciple is no other work. अच्छा पढ़ लिया उपनिषद, चलो मैं जन्म दुनिया में जाता हूँ for artha kama. No, he is only understanding that. This way we do, our upasana is complete in this regard. So adhyatma adhividyam is over. Now the fourth one is adhiprajam. The Adipraja Samhita Upanishad. How this progeny is coming? The progeny, English word has come from the prajana. So that fellow studied Upanishad. So this is called as Adhipraja Samhita Upanishad. In this also, like the earlier three, the Purva Rupa, Uttara Rupa, Sandhi and Sandhanam. And this entire system is put by the Lord for the continuation of the jivas to get the dehas for doing their sadhana. And in that, each of the four ingredients are so sacred and great by themselves. And in each one of them, again the greatness when it is there. Like being an acharya itself is great. But in the acharya, if all the acharya qualities are fully there, is really great. Is it not? Being a Antevasi itself is great. Like you are coming to the class itself is great. But having come to the class with all seriousness of wanting to learn, gain knowledge, that is greater. So too, I came as an acharya. It is a great thing. But in that, with all the qualities, preparation as an acharya, if I perform, then it is greater. And the other two things, the sandhi, sandhanam. Here also, all the four are great. But each one of them, when they are really great in conducting the business, then the outcome will be spectacular. So, who are these four? What are the four ingredients in this Adhiprajam Samhita Upanishad? The four things. First, Mata Purva Rupam. Second, Pitottara Rupam. Third, Praja Sandhi. Fourth, Prajananagam Sandhanam. Now, these are subjects which can be dealt for days together in trying to exhaustively explain. बहुत बहुत बात है. जैसे आचार्य अंतेवासी का थोड़ा ही हमने बताया. Many things of how the disciple has to conduct, how the asana has to maintain, how the guru has to be, how they have to come together. ये सारा हमने नहीं पढ़ा. उसको कहते हैं उपनिषद एक्चुअली. That's called संहिता उपनिषद. है ना. भगवान मंत्रकारा एंड भाष्यकारा बहुत लाइटली उन्होंने इन चीजों का कमेंट करके चले गए. बट इसमें बातें बहुत है जरूरत वाले सीखने का. Then, when we keep on analyzing understanding, at the peak level of understanding, our understanding comes to a saturated level, after which we can rise above and go ahead. But till we get the saturated level of understanding, we have to keep on contemplating. Like the saturated level of understanding about the Adhividya Samhita Upanishad is what? The continuous presence of the Acharya, Shishya, Vidya and Pravachanam. The essence of that should be kept in our heart, and wherever such thing is required, we have to promote it. So we have come to saturation level. When you come to saturation level of the understanding, we will give so much value importance to that we pursue it. Like the parents come to a saturation level of understanding that ab is bacche ka shaadi karna hai. They have come. Before that saturated level, they were thinking about. Before that, a thought came. Before that, when they were age of 12, 13, their thought never came about the marriage. At the age of 18, slowly thought came. By 23, 24, the thought went on so strong within individual also, together also. By the age the child come to 24 or so, वो saturation में आ गए. What saturation there? इसका शादी करना ही है. Then their pursuit is how to get him married. Then they look for the bridegroom or bride. In the same way, when you deeply understand of Adilokam, Adividyam, Adiprajam, Adijyotisham, the saturation level होने के बाद, there is no doubt about the importance of them. Then we try to contribute from our side what we can do. Like there is no doubt about the need of the set of the Acharya Purva Rupa, Antevasi Uttarupa, Vidya Sandhi, Prajvachanam Sandhanam. Convince हो गया, saturation in the understanding. Now, our contribution will be how to help in this setup. Wherever people are becoming acharyas, encourage them, and then see that the disciples deserved are brought and done, put in contact with the acharya. Then whatever required for the prachara of the vidya through pravachanam, let us provide it. That we have to do. In the same way, the fourth one. The fourth of the Samhita Upanishad is the combination of these four ingredients, which is called as Adhipraja Samhita Upanishad. In that, Mata Purva Rupam. Now, how much we can talk, discuss on that. The Pura Rupa is mother in that fourth Samhita Upanishad of Adipraja. Is it not Mata? In that, so many aspects are there. First of all, to make Mata, Bhagavan has to create a female. Then he has to see that in time she grows to become matured. Then in her, सबसे important, मुझे माँ बनना है, whatever. That thought, if like a mod mad women, if they say, no, no, my beauty will go away, therefore I will not carry, I will not have become mother, then such a stupid mother she will be, and the child also equally like buffalo. But if that woman has that matrutva vatsalya feeling, when she starts getting from the time of puberty, slowly grown in time, when that complete maturity comes by the teaching of the mother, and she becomes fully fit to really become mother, when a right fellow is chosen to become her husband. All these deeper, subtle, beautiful ingredients which are lost totally nowadays. All of that put together is the understanding about the mother or Mata Purva Rupam. That understanding is called as Upanishad or Upasana. She should feel ki, first of all, I must have a child and I will take care of that child. I will love him. More important that this child should not only the Uddharaka of my Vamsha, but he should be the supporter of the whole world. Not only the support of the whole world in the Bhautika Rupa, he should be supporter of the Dharma or Adhyatma. Now, these feelings that women has, the child born will be an avatar only, a Mahagnani Yogi only. These are all called a Mata Purva Rupam. And accordingly, it's not only the wish, she has to prepare herself. In Bhagavad, what we study, the Payovratam, Pumsanavratam, you know, that Payovratam Aditi did, that's why Vamana Bhagavan is born. Diti did Pumsanavratam, therefore, they great powerful people born. Not only an idea, na? Like मुझे ब्रह्म विद्या पाना है, it's a good thought, but that requires your qualification. You have to struggle for it. मुझे करोड़पति बननी है, ऐसे थोड़ी होता है बोलने से. You have to work hard and day by day you earn money and go on saving it. फिर 50-60 साल में कुछ बनोगे 10 लाख. 1 करोड़ तो दूर की बात है, honestly, is it not? Here also, the feeling in that sentence, Mata Purva Rupam, should remember first of all as of the Jagat Janani Mata. Then all the Amsha of the Jagat Janani Mata should be there in every woman who wants to become a Mata. First of all, she should feel that I must become mother. If that's not there in her, she will never want to become mother and give birth to a child. So Bhagavan gives that quality. Except some nonsensical exceptions, every woman finds her fulfillment only by becoming mother. चाहे वो लोग अदरवाइज वर्ल्ड में जितना भी ग्रेट हो, द फुलफिलमेंट टू अ वुमन इज ओनली इन बीइंग मदर, नॉट इन बीइंग प्राइम मिनिस्टर ऑफ इंडिया और प्रेसिडेंट ऑफ इंडिया. वो सब तो सेकेंडरी है, ग्रासर है, एक्सटर्नल है. एंड टू बिकम मदर इज हर ओन एक्सक्लूसिव अपॉर्चुनिटी. ओनली विमेन कैन. So I gave you little idea of Mata Purva Rupam. A mother, a woman belong to great culture, tradition, well educated, nurtured and matured by the parent, made matured by the parents. Now she says, I must have a child, that type of child. Then I went to the Gurus, Mahatma. They told, देखो ऐसा वाला आपको पुत्र के रूप में जीव आना है, तो this type of upasana cares you have to do. That's called Mata Purva Rupam. अदरवाइज जन्म लेगा एक राक्षस जो सबका कत्ल करने वाला कातिल बनेगा. What is the use of having that type of child? See that story of Dundukari in Bhagavatam. She was blessed by that sannyasi through her husband, that the phala is given, that fellow, the Gokarna would have been her son. Such a useless lady she is, adopted her own sister's son, that was Dundukari Rakshas. सी दैट एटीट्यूड, खुद का अपना गोकर्ण जैसे महान पुत्र को नकार दिया. देन आउट ऑफ सम एप्लीकेशन कंप्लशन शी हैज टू अडॉप्ट This Dundukarya is her son. What was the cause for that? You studied in that Mahatmya. See, if you study that Bhagavata and study Mahata Pururupam, you can connect and see what is the meaning of Upanishad or Samhita Upanishad with regard to this Adiprajam. She said so many things. My beauty will go away if I carry the child. Then it is so heavy to walk. I can't do my routine works and enjoy if I am pregnant. And she said, if the chore attacks my house, how can I run with this pregnant body? And she says, if the child अंदर उल्टा हो गया तो मैं खुद ही मर जाऊंगी. Therefore, I don't want the child. She was a most modern women type. Therefore, out of compulsion, she got the child like the Dundukari only. See that connection between that. I gave you the example of the Aditi Mata who wanted the Bhagwan only as child. She did that type of vrata. And this Dunduli who had this negative feeling, therefore that type of child she got. सो एग्जाम्पल भी मिल गया हमको, लेसन भी मिल गया हमको, उपनिषद का अथॉरिटी भी मिल गया. Knowing that is called Mata Purvarupam. So in this, if she is already woman, she should understand that I must be the mother for this type of child. If he is a man, he should think that he should have a child through that type of woman. Is it not? This is Mata Purvarupam. Now the second is equally important. Pitottara Rupam. Pita Uttara Rupam. As much as we said about the mother, so to the Pita, that would be father, that man should belong to such a great generation of culture and all, just clan of. Then himself also should have the feeling, I also must become the father. Is it not? And father of such a child. Is it not? Here you can take the example of the then Kardama and Devahuti. The Kardama Rishi's tapasya. Through Devahuti, he got Kapila Muni only as son now. So to the Vasudeva and Devaki as Prishni and Sutapa went into the tapasya, then they were blessed with Krishna as the son. So Pitottara Rupam, so that man, his manliness, his culture, his training, his willingness to become father, and to what type of child, that is also important. इवन मेरा बेटा एक टेररिस्ट हो जाए मेरी तरह, अरे यार गलत है. So how much you should have a vision to become a useful father, not only to a useful child, but to the entire society, giving a good child. और उनके लिए भी रूल्स है, रेगुलेशंस है, नियम निष्ठाएं हैं. Is it not? And the child definitely gets all the convictions, strengths, etc. from the father only, right from his virya onwards up to learning from the father silently, as well as when the father takes the child into confidence and teaches. Mother also is a guru, she teaches her own things. Father also. First of all, the combination of these man and woman should itself be so great that the greatest of the jiva should come through that, because the upadhi given by them will be so great. Is it not? Mata Pita, they only give upadhi called Deha. They are not creator of the jiva. The jiva deserving that type of upadhi come as the child through that. Then they should cherish if the child is great. If not, next time they should be so careful in their nature that good jiva only chooses to be to them, chooses them to be the parents, chooses to come to that. At a little higher level of sadhana, jiva is given a chance कि कौन सा womb चाहिए. You will look in the world कहाँ तपस्या यज्ञ हो रहा है तो उनके कोख में मैं आऊँगा. Lord says तथास्तु. For a lower people, there is no choice. उनको तो कंपल्सरी उनको वहां उधर करना पड़ता है उसी देह में. You behave like gada, you will be sent to gade ka deha hi. But the one who is doing lot of punya yoga sadhana, he will be asked, he will be given a choice. Then he will choose this family I want to be born. They choose. The jivas choose at the higher level. Some of them choose and some of them the guru knows that these are the jiva, in the path of evolution, he deserves that womb. Therefore, he prompts, makes some arrangement by which the jiva enters into that womb. He has his own prayers, his own yoga shaktis. उनका फिर वो अलग चीज होता है. Some of the gurus of the highest order, whichever the jiva evolution responsibility given to them, they deliberately lift this jiva and put in the womb of that mother with their yoga shakti. These are all possible, and all this additional information is given in continuation of this Adi Praja Samhita Upanishad, where the Mata is Purva Rupam, Pita is Uttara Rupam. Then why do they come together? And where is the fulfillment of mother and father coming, man and woman coming? Only in bringing out the child, the Praja Sandhi. Otherwise, the man and woman, wife and husband, if they don't have the common goal of child to take care, then after some time they develop the ego, they take each other for granted, they become such a bitter enemies to fight with each other. That's a grace of the Lord that through their combination a child is provided by which their energies are diverted toward that fellow, which adds for the subsequent continuation of the praja in the society. Generally, particularly, they attend to that child as a common goal. Therefore, their energies becomes energized. Else, their energies were fighting with each other earlier. Because each jiva will have his own likes and dislikes. अब हर दिन तो कॉम्प्रोमाइज तो नहीं होता ना. She will have her own joys. Issues can be smaller or bigger ones. They express outside or not, but inside they feel bitter. He says ये वाला सब्जी बनाओ, but उनको अदर लगता है कि ये बनाना चाहिए. She is in struggle of her own. कि वो चाहते हैं, मैं तो ये चाहती हूँ. Though she makes what he wants, but inside she is frustrated only in making a sabji. But when the child comes, they think what the child requires. So they make that and both of them eat that one. Not at very child level, when the child grows little bit. Everything like that. कहाँ जाए, पहले लड़ते थे वहाँ जाए, अब बच्चे को कहाँ जाने से अच्छा लगेगा. So they make the child as a means for coming together. Is it not? That's a great contribution Bhagwan ने दिया कि through your coming together a child is born, both of you attend to him. Praja Sandhihi. And the Upanishad said to us already, the Prashna Upanishad, every couple should give it to society one very noble boy, baby boy and girl. एक पुत्र और पुत्री को समाज को देना ही पड़ेगा. That couple who come together as a married wife and husband. दिया है शास्त्र में. A noble girl and boy should give. So, Praja Sandhi, he said no. Sandhi, here the Sandhi word more closer than in any other Samhita Upanishad. As I said, explain now, real Sandhi happens to the wife and husband through the Praja. They each of them see themselves in them, synergized. And then how much of inner love is poured on that child. अब देखोगे ना, even the stupid time of modern world of so much technology, when it comes to the child, both the mother and father, so much loving. With all the technical knowledge, heading the entire department, that youngster of 40, 38, when he comes home, he looks his child and is so happy. वो fulfillment ही अलग होता है. And then I tell you, the child attracts these parents so much that they have no other frustrations of the world. But this is enough to frustrate them. बच्चे इतने कंट्रीब्यूशन होते हैं पेरेंट्स के लिए कि उनका दिमाग इधर उधर जाकर अब सड़ने का चांस ही नहीं. पहले सड़ता था, अब इसी में सड़ेगा. दिस फेलो इसको नैपी लाने से लेकर के एवरीथिंग इज ओनली फॉर दिस चाइल्ड so that they have no time to do outer gundagardi. Earlier he goes to chill with his young other friends to go here and there. अब बता उसको, अरे यार चलते हैं, ओके तो नहीं नहीं बेटे को इधर ले जाने का टाइम है. ही इज सेव्ड. उसको दवा दिलानी है, अरे ही मस्ट बी वेटिंग फॉर मी. और माई ड्यूटी nowadays 4 hours the mother, 4 hours the father, and me liberating time आया और गया. They take care. How many important? praja sandhihi. And how the praja happens? The sandhanam is prajananagam. And this is a huge subject which I will not deal in detail. One or two ideas I give. What is that? According to our Hindu Sanatana Shastra, giving child to the society is a maha contribution, and that is done as a yajnam. And to do this yajna of giving child to society alone, they come together. Otherwise, they only stay together, contributing to each other in all other aspects of evolution, not like a kami or bhogi. Even coming together is a yajna to bring out a great child. That was their noblest state of the hearts at that time. I was में. They are staying together, but their pursuit is something to worship the Lord, to serve the world, to fulfill their own swadharma. In that way, they used to live, not like in today's world, the attraction leading to all time indulgence only all the time. Only in the time of giving child comes in their mind, only to give birth to a child, they come together, that's all. That's called prajananagam sandhanam. The Kamana was never predominant in the earlier stages of human evolution. They never had that thought. They never used to. It was a sacred yajna of coming together to give a child birth. That's it. Not like today, where it is so much hyped and projected so much that the people's minds are so much involved with this virus of lust to such an extent that any other thing is not seen. The dharma aspect of it, the duty aspect of it, the spiritual aspect, सारे secondary हो गए, primary यही हो गए. That's not Indian, that's a Western given thing, that is. For various reasons, no, I need not quote all that. In Indian Eastern culture, there's never of this aspect at all. The rishis used to stay with their own patni, but never they were have this thought always of the bhoga or kama. They were staying together as a very good contributors or friends to help the society in whatever the way and to do their own sadhana. Only to give birth to a child, they come together once. That's all. That's the meaning of prajananagam sandhana. And it is possible at any time. And that's how, in that purity and the restraint, which was effortless and natural to them, they had such an internal intense powers that they used to have all the siddhis in such a way that every loka they can go. And devatas and other rishis used to come and meet them. If Durvasa Rishi has met Vasishta Rishi, both of them are so great. To whom the Dasaraji went, yesterday we saw. And when Dasaraji asked, tell how my progeny will be, आंख बंद कर ली 2 मिनट में दुर्वास जी said very clearly all the negative and positive aspects. Before that he told about the भृगु पत्नी and भृगु शाप. तो इतना विजन उनको कैसा आता है जो इंटेलिजेंट है जिसके मन में हमेशा काम क्रोध है. Will that person have that power to visualize? Imagine. Not an ordinary, they are all. How they never allowed the mind to project. They use the mind as a slave, employing it only in the pursuit of dharma and moksha. उनका शुरू से ही पकड़ पे था मन पे. हमारा ना फंस गए मन में, हम अभी उसको हम पकड़ने का कोशिश कर रहे, वो मिल ही नहीं रहा. We are its slaves. We have not even understood that his mind is enemy with its ability of projection and tying and binding me to those things which I should have not done. इतना भी समझने नहीं दे रहा मन हमारा हमको. उतना हम फंस गए मन में. Just a thought comes, a desire comes, you just pursue that. अरे बेवकूफ तू आया क्यों ये थॉट, कहाँ से आया, इसकी क्या जरूरत है, व्हाट आर द कॉन्सिक्वेंस ऑफ इट. वी आर नॉट इवन थिंकिंग. Like the thought of coffee came, immediately you have money and you have all things, go and make coffee. अरे पागल, a coffee will spoil your digestive system. It is not required. It is a very bad habit. Instead of that, have your buttermilk, which is good for the health. This arrogant fellow will never think all that because he is sold out to the mind's projection that I must have a coffee. Like that anything. I must watch टीवी, आई मस्ट वॉच। ये मस्ट वाले जो जिसमें फंसे हैं हम, ये सब मन ने किया और उस मन का इतने गुलाम हो गए कि उसके खिलाफ सोचने का हिम्मत भी नहीं है। Not this way were the rishis munis. It's not their last question that what is the purpose of my life. आजकल हमको तो व्हाट इज माई पर्पस लाइफ लास्ट मोमेंट में भी नहीं आता। Our purpose of life is not based on the genuine question. Our purpose life is based on our own imagination. As if we are born only for artha kama. जिंदगी भर वही कर करके और भगवान मुझे और 10 साल का उम्र दे ताकि और मैं अर्थ काम में फंसूंगा। इनको फंसना भी नहीं लगता है वो। But the rishis never went into the world without asking the first question of what is the purpose of the birth. The only purpose they were told is to know the truth. Therefore, their whole goal is only to know the truth. Therefore, they used to do only those things which help them in knowing the truth. Fixed, that's all. Not like today, everybody like the child's purpose. Right from beginning only the purpose of the child, the parents think is he should become a big officer or a owner of the money and all. अर्थ काम की बातें कह रहे हैं कि ये ज्ञानी होना है, तत्व जिज्ञास होना है, भक्त होना है। You know, among 300 crores of women that are there or 300 men, जितने भी हो, how many are this way thinking about the child? They themselves don't have thought, then how can they convey that thought to the child? बेटा तुम्हारा जीवन का पर्पस है परमात्मा को जानना। Have you told this to your children and grandchildren? Do you have for yourself that purpose of our life is that? This is what the Kali. In Satyayuga, Satya Tattva Paramatma alone is the goal. That was told in the beginning only. Therefore, they used to live life only for that. Therefore, in their minds, all these kamana, artha, bhoga never came. And they were so matured, luckily, right from beginning, कि उनका डे स्केड्यूल इतना फिक्स्ड होता था जिसमें होल डे दे आर बिजी इन द उपासना यज्ञ अनुष्ठानम। लाइक नाउअडेज वी आर ट्राइंग विद आवर 6-7 क्लासेस व्हिच इज नॉट सफिशिएंट। दिन भर होना चाहिए हमको, तब जाकर हमारा मन भूत प्रेत को हम चाहत के ऊपर कंट्रोल कर सकते हैं। हम ये सब कर रहे हैं मन को कंट्रोल करने वाले चाहत से। मैं तो इसलिए कर रहा हूँ to keep the mind engaged. I am doing so many classes and little bit is achieved by that, which is not sufficient. This was natural for them. सुबह 4 बजे उठना, योग प्राणायाम करना, फिर मॉर्निंग का ध्यान करना, उसके बाद सूर्य नमस्कार करना है, देन थ्रू आउट द डे यज्ञ उपासना करना है, इवनिंग भागवत आदि सत्संग पुराण करना। दे आर सो बिजी इन देयर डे शेड्यूल दैट दे हैव नो टाइम, which is what you see in some of the very matured ashrams of the matured gurus. They keep the ashram schedule so busy that they have no business other than spirituality. Is it not? There are some ashrams even now. In other ashrams, नाम का वास्ते आश्रम है, खाना पीना चलता है, रोना सोना भी चलता है. It's okay, but little they are also doing. We should not deny anyone's contribution. We should not underestimate anybody. We have no right to comment. That we know. But there are some genuine ashrams. The inmates have such a pakka daily schedule that they have no other work. Like we do the 7 days camp. सुबह से शाम तक इतना आपको बिठा बिठा क्लास सुनाते हैं. That is an ideal way of living. Not that after 7 days you come and feel relaxed and now let me indulge. All the operations are expressed out. No. Make that a schedule. Like we are doing 6 classes. Even if I stop classes, you should continue studying like that only. Like that. They used to be naturally disciplined in keeping the goal as Paramatma and doing the life schedule only for that. Therefore, they never had the lust and passion. अब वो वाला नहीं है ऐसे first point. Second is the entire world is full of the lust passion. Therefore, the youngsters, all of them are taking that only as the goal. मन पूरा उनको ऐसा सड़ा हुआ. I am telling all of that is from प्रजननगम संधानम वाला point. As I told you, each of them have a lot of things to discuss. These are the samples. So, Mata Purva Rupam Vitottara Rupam Praja Sandhi Prajanagam Sandhanam. Then when one you become grown, then you also man or woman try to become the mother, father or mother, and be a noble with all the noble things. Give birth to a noble child and take care of the child to make him noble again. That's how the generation of generation. This is the upasana. Now, what is the upasana happened here? The upasana is presence of Paramatma who made this setup. Upasana is understanding the glory of this setup. In this, each ingredient are so sacred. The mother ingredient, the father ingredient, the praja ingredient, the prajananam. Then when we value accordingly that one, we are really becoming contributors to the world. That's called as Samhita Upanishad with regard to the praja, Adiprajam. Okay, now last one is Adi Atmam, the Adhyatma Samhita Upanishad. In this also, Adarahanuf Purva Rupam, Uttarahanuruttara Rupam, Vak Sandhihi, then Jihva Sandhanam, Ityadhyatmam. And I am telling you, each one are neither explained by Bhashyakara exhaustively nor me. We have only given an idea as to how we have to see the world and see the ingredients of four and each one's importance and our contribution to that. These observances is called upasana. We give only idea. अब आपको इसको बहुत विस्तार रूप से सोचकर समझकर करना है. Like that, not one, two. Throughout the day, the millions of examples can be a means for us to do the Samhita Upanishad. And when we live life like that for few years, the mind gets settled in the form of seeing the presence of Paramatma in all the phenomena. Then the question, who is that Paramatma? Then we tell, he is Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. Then once we see him, what we told everything in the earlier world is not found because all was a mithya, but required as upasana to come out of the samsara and go towards the spirituality. Once you realize the self, all this Adividya, Adipraja, Adhyatma, Adijyotisha is not required. But still it is continued to guide others. ठीक है, कल देखेंगे बाकी. ओम 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 ओम. The fifth Samhita Upanishad followed by Falashruti. Then this most important, beautiful. Again, Prarthana Mantra, Yaschandasam Rishabha. These are the things most waiting. Tomorrow we will see them. And be regular in classes with little introduction and Upanishad. Let us slowly equip ourselves, prepare ourselves to be blessed by the Rishi Parampara for the Brahma Vidya. It is in our hands. When we in the class, though the mind is tempting us for any of the bhoga, we have denied that. Then what happened? Nothing happened. If you don't involve in the world, nothing happened. It is only mind which feels little dukhi. Instead of identifying the mind, if you can objectify the mind and pacify the mind and make it a habit, slowly mind also starts cooperating. Here we are wholeheartedly spiritual, not under compulsion. क्या पड़ा? अगर 1 घंटा हमने चाय कॉफ़ी नहीं पी, नाश्ता नहीं की, टी नहीं देखा, टीवी नहीं देखा, कोई क्या खास नुकसान तो नहीं हुआ ना? We have to recognize it. Therefore, throughout life also, when we deny them and involve in own sadhana, कुछ नुकसान नहीं होता है. उसमें कुछ फायदा है, नहीं करो तो नुकसान है. It's only wrong concept of the mind. Come out of that. Pursue only this one. Then slowly we conquer all the Jagrata avasthas, unnecessary activities which we call up duty. And slowly we conquer even the mind also, Swapna, by only having positive dream if at all. And slowly the need of Nidra also gets reduced in our life. So most of the time we are engaged only in study of Brahma Vidya and doing Dhyana. That's how when it continues for a long time, then the Sukshmata will come, the self is revealed, by the way. ओम पूर्णमद पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते. ओम शांति शांति शांति. श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः. बोल परम ऋषिभ्यो नमः परब्रह्मणे नमः श्रुतिमात्रे नमः याज्ञवल्क्याय याज्ञवल्क्य ऋषये नमः वैशम्पायन ऋषये नमः वेदव्यास सद्गुरे नमः आद्यशंकर सद्गुरे नमः तत्सद्ब्रह्मार्पणम्।